Welcome to Freestyle Fitness. Today we have some yoga flow coming for you guys. Yoga will be a great addition to any of your workouts. The way that we're going to go about your yoga classes is I'm going to take you through about a 30-minute flow. You're going to hear me talk through the whole thing. I want you to listen for cues. I'll always cue before I'm actually doing something. And then if we end up coming into postures, these are all basic yoga postures. So we're going to work through our downward facing dogs. And by the way, this is a vinyasa style class. And vinyasa just means flow. That means we're going to flow from one posture to another. It won't be very fast. Today's yoga is going to be about this nice flow with a little bit of holding so that we can understand proper positioning in the yoga posture, but it won't be super fast. You'll have time to adjust in your postures, and if you'd like to stay in the postures a little bit longer just to get the feel of them, you certainly can today, no problem. The very beginning of yoga, there's a lot of times that I think it's really important for you to set the area around you. So have your surroundings clear from clutter, clear from a lot of loud noise maybe. So this is a time that you can really connect with your own body, your own breath, your own spirit. And that is exactly what yoga means. The yoga is a union of mind, body, and spirit. So it's working in unison all of the time. We just kind of forget about that. We take that for granted. So we're going to get into just a little bit of quiet. It's really important, especially after, kind of crazy days, whether you've been home, maybe you're homeschooling kids, maybe you're working remote and you're used to going out and about. It can cause us a lot of different type of anxiety and not knowing what's happening. So this is a time where you can just reconnect and refocus. I always start with just like a little bit of breath work. And so what you can do is you can find your way into a posture, a nice upright posture, either sitting on your bum or some people really, and I like being on my shins like so I can kind of stretch out my feet. But if this is not comfortable for you, even any sitting position will do. So the first thing I like to do is just kind of take a big deep breath in through my nose. Take this big giant exhale out of the mouth. And I do that every so often. You may hear me doing that through practice if something's really kind of difficult for me to do. I'm always thinking about that cleansing breath, this big exhale. So let's just start here. Find a place. I want you to just close your eyes for a moment. And this really helps set our intention for what we're about to do. It's 30 minutes that you get to spend to yourself, with yourself, by yourself, for yourself. So if you just close your eyes, you want to try to keep the eyelids nice and soft, the mouth slightly open. Either way, whether you're sitting on your butt or on the shins, the spine is nice and long, the belly is drawn in, and even the hands here, mine are on my thighs. The palm can be up and open, whatever. I just want you to kind of take the breath in through the nostril, and then a nice exit out of the mouth. And really I'm just taking notice of the breath through the nostrils, and I'm allowing the lungs, I'm noticing the lungs and the chest expand, and then with the exhales, allowing that to decompress and for the belly to contract on the exhale. So just take a couple more rounds of breath here, softening the shoulders, nice neutral spine, crown of the head reaches up toward the ceiling. And now I want you to set your intention. You can open the eyes. I want you to set your intention for this particular 30 minutes of your life. So it can be anything from maybe you just want to feel, right? Learning to feel what these different sensations are. Maybe you want to clear your head. This yoga practice allows you to focus solely on what's happening on this little mat here. Nothing else. Everything else is just distraction. So we're going to learn to take the distraction away and really just focus, self-focus on ourselves. So let's take this down. We're going to take a nice little fingertips. I want you to spread them nice and wide on your mat. Your shoulders, elbows, wrists are in a line here. I like to start almost always with some type of flexion and extension in the spine here. So on your exhale, I want you to tuck the chin into the chest. Draw the shoulders away from the body. The upper ribs lift to the ceiling. Your hips squeeze underneath you and the belly draws in. On the inhale, I'm going to lift the hips, drop the belly, squeeze the shoulders together, and then lift the head. We're going to take a couple like this on your own, okay? So just I'm going to breathe through the exhale. This is called cat. Inhale, dropping the belly, lifting the hips, squeezing the shoulders. And let's take another round here. Exhale. And then on the inhale. Good. We're going to meet back here in neutral spine position. So we're keeping the navel drawn up and in the entire time here. Again, the elbow pits are facing forward, so there's a little external rotation happening here in the shoulders. All I want to do is I want to take my toes together, take the knees away from each other, and then we're going to sit back into a nice child's pose. This is a great start position too. We just took a little cat-cow. I want you to find length in the spine. I'm going to take my forehead right down to the mat here. With my exhales, I'm going to sink the chest a little bit closer toward the mat. Then I might take it to my left temple, and I'm going to rock through the forehead to the right temple. So I'm just kind of working through my neck here a little. Reaching the fingertips nice and long. I want you to come to tented fingertips. Lift the head up. Sit the hips back just a little bit more. Find a little length. I want you to look at the top of your mat. And then take another exhale and lead with the chin here. So it's going to allow a little bit more opening in the shoulders here. Allowing with the exhales to sink deeper. The inhale, let the chest expand. You can even lift off the mat a little and then exhale, sink a little deeper. Then flatten the hands. We're going to roll. We're going to actually drag the heel of the hand back just a little bit, chin to chest. We're going to roll back up onto all fours. This is called tabletop position. Take your toes. I want you to tuck the toes here and then lift the knees and take the hips back, extend the legs to downward facing dog. By the way, it's okay from here if the heels don't touch the ground. We're just pressing the heels toward the ground. Doesn't mean they have to touch. I want you to bend one knee and then the other. We're going to try to make sure, too, that there's no rounding happening here and we're not way over here. We really want to press through the hands to continually find the length in the spine as the chest presses back to the thighs. So I'm going to continue this pedal here. I'm going to continue to think about my breath and attach my breath to the movement. So I'm finding this nice rhythm of breath. From this pedal here, take the big toes together. We're going to lift the heels. I want you to look at your navel so your chin is tucked into the chest. Let's roll through. We call this high plank. Find a nice neutral high plank. Draw the knees down to the floor. Soften the feet. This is going to be your first transition in what we call vinyasa. Okay, we're going to take this all the way down. Bend the elbows brush the ribs. We're going to shift our weight forward into what we call upward facing dog. You're going to take the toes, press them into the mat so the thighs lift right off the mat here. Shoulders depress down the back. Take your chin to chest. Big giant exhale as we reach all the way back, rolling through downward facing dog. One foot flips, then the next. If you're sore here from working out, you're going to find this downward facing dog to be tough the first couple of times. Okay, you're gonna find tightness through the back line. I want you to bend your knees a little bit. Then I want you to draw your tailbone, like you're trying to arch your back. I want you to lift that tailbone up to the ceiling and then exhale, press the head in between the shoulders and breathe. You're gonna feel this in your triceps too. Okay, if you're definitely feeling that workout maybe from yesterday, the day before. Now take the heels, press them down, extend the legs. Good. And then we're just going to take this one more. We're going to bend the knees nice and deep. I want you to look at your thumbs. The first time we do this, we're going to just step the right foot to the right thumb and then let the left foot follow. Take an exhale, forward fold. Find a little length here. It's okay if the knees don't fully extend. Okay, you actually want to keep a slight bend to keep the pressure here right in the hamstrings. Keep that stretch. On an inhale, I'm going to take the hands to the shins here. I'm going to take the chin, tuck it into the chest, rolling up just so I can find half lift. We find length, the shoulders reach back. I'm going to take those arms back, exhale, forward fold. Nice and slow. There's no rush. You're going to bend the knees. We're going to take it all the way up. Take a big, giant inhale. We're going to sweep the arms up overhead. You're going to steeple grip the hands together. So just right here, I want you to really ground through your feet. Lift the toes and then place them back down on the mat. So really focusing on all four corners of the feet. We're going to open up the arms, cactus arms. The elbows draw toward the ribs. We open the chest and the shoulders. I'm taking a slight back bend here, nothing too crazy. And then take the arms back, hips draw back, exhale, swan dive, hands reach behind the calves, exhale, pull your chest closer to your thighs. We're always going to find this inhale, half lift, rolling up through the spine, length, inhale, exhale, all the way back down, forward fold. Let's bend the knees. Plant the hands in front of you, shoulders, elbows, wrists in a line. Shift your weight forward just a little bit so you can step back, hold plank. Nice and strong. We're going to soften the knees back down, flatten the feet. We're taking this little cobra roll through. So we're going to take it all the way down, leading with the chest. Inhale, reaching up, shoulders back and down. Pressing again the feet into the ground here, chin to chest. Take your exhale, draw the shoulders away. Use the abdominals to help roll back through the spine, downward facing dog. Take 2 rounds of breath here. You can pedal here. Downward dog is about exploring tension. So you can even take a little twist here. Maybe you take a twist here. Good. And then let's take the right foot. I want you to step the right foot back here on the toes. The toes, when they face the ground here, it allows the hips to be neutral here. I want you to just rise. So elevate the right heel. Keep the toes pressing down toward the floor. And then lift the left heel. Fold your right heel into your glute. And we're going to slowly roll the right knee in toward the center of the body as I shift my weight forward on the exhale. Hold. Take an inhale, sweep it back. We're going to open up what we call scorpion tail, just stacking one hip on top of the next. And then take it through again. We're going to close the hip. Take it through. Exhale. You're going to step the right foot to the right thumb. Looking ahead, a long spine. Back knee, left knee softens, left foot softens. Take an inhale, rise. We're going to press into that right heel. Good. Open up, squeeze. Take an inhale, reach. The hands are going to frame the foot. Extend the back leg. Exhale, stretch back cat. Stretch left heel down. Right toes lift, hold. Good, and then you're going to bend the right knee again. You're going to hop this left foot up to 45 degrees. So my right heel and left heel is in a line here. We're going to make sure that this hip is not pressing out here, but in fact it's square with the shoulders and the front of your mat. You're going to lengthen the front leg. Take an exhale, pull the chest just a little bit closer to the thighs. Let's hold here and breathe 2 rounds. Connecting the breath through where you feel sensation, sending breath. Good, you're going to bend the knee. You're going to switch this back foot. You're going to step back into lunge position. Take an inhale, rise to what we call high lunge. High lunge is now going to open up into warrior two. We're going to open up the hip and the shoulders, keeping the knee over the ankle. Your job is to take up as much room as you can on your mat. Nice and long, knee over ankle, squeezing here, shoulders back and down. Hold. Good. And in 3, in 2, in 1, we're going to reach the right hand all the way back down. Left arm is going to come all the way overhead. Look ahead, low lunge position, hands plant into the ground. Take an inhale, reach it back. Give me a nice 3-legged dog. Hold here. Very nice. And if you want to stay here, you're going to stay here is the advanced option. You're going to take your left heel up, shift your weight forward. Right hand lifts off of the mat and the right foot reaches back as we find what we call wild thing. Hold and breathe. You're going to put the right hand all the way back down, reach the right leg, 3-legged dog, right toes, draw down to meet the left. We're going to take a little vinyasa here, heels lift, roll through, high plank, knees down, soften, upward facing dog. We're going to take it back, exhale, downward facing dog. You're going to take a nice round of 5 breaths here. Good, keep the heels pressing down. Slight bend in the knees. Good, 1 more breath. Good, let's take the left leg, extend it to the ceiling here. Heel drives into glute, lift the right heel. Good, so nice. Take your left knee, draw it in through the center of the body as you shift your weight forward. Exhale, hold. Take an inhale, sweep back. Good. Heel to glute, open up, scorpion tail, stretching out that left side body, left hip. Good. We're going to close the hip, lift the heel, take it through all the way, low lunge, left foot steps to left thumb. And by the way, if you can't get that left foot there, it stops. Take your hand, give it a little help, right? No problem. Take the head, look up, soften the right knee, the right foot. Take an inhale, rise. We're going to open, exhale. We're going to reach, inhale, hold. Good, so really pressing into the front heel, taking this hip forward and down toward the front of the mat. Hold here. Good, and the hands are going to frame the foot. Tuck your right toes, extend your back leg, and then take a nice exhale, tented fingertips. Right heel draws toward the mat, left toes draw up toward the shin, and the exhale pulls the chest just a little bit closer toward the thigh. Hold. You can certainly keep that foot here. You don't have to ever lift the toes. We're trying to square off the hips. Bend the knee. We're going to step this right foot up just a little bit. Remember, 45-degree angle in that right foot, left heel, right heel in a line, lengthening through the left leg. This is called pyramid. So we're taking the hips, square them off. Tented fingertips. Same thing, I'm going to exhale, pull myself just a little bit closer. Hold. If you feel pressure behind the knee, take a slight bend. I'm still really trying to keep my toes as kind of wide as I can, really gripping on the mat. I'm going to bend the knee. Good. Hands are going to plant as you step that right foot back to a longer lunge. And then on the inhale, let's rise. It's high lunge here. Open up high lunge. I've got a nice little lean coming here. And we're going to open up to warrior two. So the hips open. Okay, the left knee stays stacked over the ankle. And the arms are going to reach, open, shoulders squeeze down. My gaze is over the left middle finger. So I've got these fingers here reaching back as these fingers are reaching forward. So there's tension. Hold, you're squeezing. Kneecap is lifted, so the quad is active. Hold here and breathe. That's your warrior two. Good, we're going to reach out of the rib cage. Left hand comes down to the outside of the pinky. The right arm cartwheels all the way overhead. Feeling the side body stretch. Taking it back through. Take an inhale. Sweep the left leg all the way back up. We call that a little scorpion. And then here is your option for wild thing on this side. The right leg lifts. Right heel. Take it through. You want to make sure that your shoulders, elbows, wrists are stacked before you ever take this foot back to meet the floor. It's as slow as you can go. You don't want to get into this with momentum. Take it up, squeeze, lift, and breathe. I'm pressing into that left foot, the outer edge of the right foot. The left hand replaces to the mat, left leg extends, left toes will draw down to meet the right. Exhale, downward facing dog. Woo! That creates a little heat for you guys. You're going to bend the knees. I want you to look at the thumbs. Step, float, hop the feet to the outside of the pinkies. And then we're going to take it up into prayer squat. So the elbows are going to draw to the inside of the knees. But I want you to take those away. Squeeze your tush. Don't allow the knees to cave in. That means you really got to squeeze those glutes. Hold. Good. You're going to take the fingertips down. Gently lift the hips toward the ceiling. Heel toe your feet in toward each other. Underneath the shoulders. Take an exhale, fold. I'm going to reach those fingertips back as I pull myself a little closer. Slight bend in the knees. Good, take an inhale, half lift. And we're going to take an exhale, fold. You're going to bend the knees, take a big giant inhale, rise. Open up, exhale. Lifting up, inhale. And then we're going to swan dive it all the way back down. So hips press back, hands draw to the calves. Exhale, pull yourself closer. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, plant the hands. Let's step back through plank. And this is where you're finally warm enough. You can take your chaturanga or knees down into cobra. Chaturanga, take it up. Forward facing dog, take it back. Downward dog. Good. Let's take this right leg up, heel to glutes. You're going to step your right pinky, right foot to the outside of the right pinky here. Okay. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take this, spin it through all the way. You've got a nice little straddle here happening. So from straddle, you're only going to be here for a quick second. Straddle, take an inhale, half lift. Good. And then you're going to bend into your right knee for a nice little skandasana hold. Okay, so you're going to lift the toes here. Hold, hold, hold. Good. Hands come back down. Take the exhale, straddle. Good. Take it all the way through lunge. Yes. Okay, let's take that right arm. You're going to reach it all the way up. This is revolved lunge. Sweep the arm all the way back through. Step the right foot back to meet the left. Take it back down. Dog. The left leg sweeps up. Step the left foot out to the left pinky. Straddle through this way. This time the fingertips are going to reach back. Exhale, fold. Take an inhale. Half lift. Good. And then we're going to bend into the left knee. Skandasana. This means the toes reach up, opening up the hip. Hands can be here. They can be here. They don't even have to. They can support you on the floor here. Hold. And then let's take it down. Straddle. Let's take it through. Low lunge. And then the left hand is going to come all the way up, revolving through the torso here. Nice and strong. Left arm is going to sweep back and down. Hands plant into the mat. Left leg sweeps back. Inhale, left toes. Let's draw them down. Good. Let's bend the knees. Step, float, hop the feet to the front of the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Take an inhale. Half lift. Take the exhale, fold. Bend. Inhale. Rise. Open up. Exhale, cactus arms. Reach it up. Inhale. Take it back. Exhale, fold. Nice and easy. Hands draw the calves. Inhale, half lift. Rolling up. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees. Plant the hands. Step it back. Give me a little chaturanga all the way through. So elbows brush the ribs. We're going to shift our weight forward. Taking it up. Upward facing dog. Take it back. Down dog. Woo! So downward facing dog becomes your rest. Isn't that nice? Yeah. Bend your knees. You're going to take the hips. You're going to lift them up toward the ceiling. Just look ahead. You're going to step your right foot to the left wrist and land here in pigeon, what we call pigeon. Okay, so left toe or right toes will actually flex back here. We're going to have a nice time in pigeon, not so much. You want to make sure that your shoulders and hips are square. You should feel something happening to the outside of that right hip. I love to come tented fingertips to lead with my chest. The spine stays long here as I reach out of the hip, inhale. Then I'm going to rise chin to chest, exhale, rolling up. And then I'm going to try to reach a little bit deeper, inhale, slow, chin to chest, exhale, rise. So yoga does not have to mean, it doesn't mean that you have to sit and hold, okay? It's moving through with the breath. And then this final one, you're going to take it all the way back down. So remembering, when we decide to hold in our pigeons, we really want to continue to maintain our square hips, okay, and our neutral back. So we don't need to be rounding here. You're not going to do much out of the hip. In fact, watch what happens. The hip releases here. So find that spot in the shoulders. I want you to squeeze the shoulders down, leading with the chest. And then maybe this is as far as you go. Okay, maybe this is as far as you go. It doesn't matter, but nice and long. Hold just for maybe one more breath. And then we're going to walk the hands back. You're going to tuck the back toes. Actually, no, you're not. You know what you're going to do? You're going to sit right on your hip and sweep the other leg around, okay? So the right hand will hug the left knee in nice and tall. You can take a nice seated twist here. Left hand comes to the left hip to keep both sits bones grounded through the floor. Nice and easy. And then I'm going to take it all the way out of that. So all I'm going to do is sweep this back, hands press, take it back from plank to downward facing dog. And we're going to take the left leg all the way up. Heel to glute, step the left foot to the right wrist. I've got my foot flexed here, so toes are flexed to protect the knee. And this hip is not open, right? We're literally trying to close it off. And because I already did this length, okay, to rounding, meaning flexion and extension, I'm going to move through this hip just a little bit differently. I'm going to make sure I'm square, but I'm going to kind of take my hands out nice and wide. I'm going to take my shoulders and internally rotate the shoulder, okay, right side, left side. So you can always work a little bit of double duty here with your yoga postures. You don't have to do the same thing over and over, okay? So we're working internal rotation in the shoulder. Good, take it up, inhale, and then remember, walking it out. I like to use the tented fingertips to walk out to find length in the spine as I find the fold over the hip here, over the shins. So you're going to hold here, and let's breathe. Just a couple more breaths. I really like to breathe in through the nose, circulate it through the back of the throat, and then I'm really sending the breath where I'm feeling sensation so I can last there just a little bit longer. Take an inhale, hands come back. Sitting, you're just going to lean on that left hip, sweep your right leg around. Knee hugs in, right hand presses the right hip down as the left hand hugs the right knee into the chest. Remember, we're on long spine. Exhale, twist. You can twist over the shoulder, keeping this grounded through the floor. Hold and breathe. Good, and then let's take this through. Since we're already seated, you're going to take the soles of the feet together. Take your elbows and find a little spot here that you will be able to press the knees down or the thighs down as you grab onto the feet and take your exhale and fold over. Same thing, same rule applies though. Don't round here and try to pull yourself down. Leading from the chest. My elbows are landing actually on my calves here, so I can press down and exhale, pull myself closer. This is about keeping those hips open. Good, and then come on up, plant the feet down in front of you. Feet, knees, hips in line. And then we're going to take the arms, reach them up, tuck your chin into your chest, and let's roll down the spine. I want you to suck the navel in. It's super slow, super slow, super slow. The last thing that will hit will be the head. Okay, then tee out the arms. Bring the heels up into your bum just a little bit. Then I want you to wipe the thighs from one side to the other. So this is another just gentle hip opener. This is a nice little flow that you can do when you're kind of short on time, you can take this whole video and hold the postures longer, okay, for a few more breaths to make this a little bit more challenging for you too. Okay, and then let's take the soles of the feet together, take the knees wide, and whatever happens to the back here, the natural arch, let it happen, that's fine. I want you to take the fingertips up toward the ceiling. Take a big, giant inhale, close the eyes here, and take the inhale, allowing yourself to really feel that chest fill up, the lungs fill up with air. Inhale. Big cleansing exhale. Out of the mouth. And just take 2 more here. Big inhale through the nose. Big exhale. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. And this is what we call your final resting pose. You can extend the legs. This is called dead man's pose, corpse pose, shavasana. So you'll hear that. It just allows the joints to be heavy again on the floor and to give your body a reset and this rest so that you can come back to normal breath, normal breathing. You can take as much time as you like in shavasana. I want you to roll. When you're done though with shavasana, you're going to roll up through the right side. Come on up. Take it through the same way that you started. So if you started on your bum, you're going to come to your bum. If you started on the knees, on the shins, you're going to come to your shins. And taking one more acknowledgement of the work that you did. And this nice connection that we hold with our breath, mind, body, spirit. So take the hands, nice long spine. That means the crown of the head is reaching forward as I'm grounding through my feet. And then take one more big inhale through the nose. I want you to hold it as long as you can. And then exhale. And opening the eyes. And then this is your yoga practice for today, and we'll come back at you with another one coming up. So take your time through practice. Again, you can hold those poses and those postures a little longer to learn them. Okay, I gave you enough cues for you to hold those warrior twos and pyramid and downward facing dog. Take those cues and build on them. You can build the fire and the heat just by holding those postures. So have a great day, and I hope you this will help calm your nerves a little. And we'll see you back here again tomorrow.